Welcome to Community Corner, sponsored by Scandinavian Designs. You know, we cannot overstate the importance of voting here on Idaho Today, but unfortunately, believe it or not, youth voter turnout has consistently been one of the lowest among age groups. But What the Vote Idaho seeks to educate our youth about the importance of voting. So we're joined right now by Chris, Nancy, and Noah to tell us more about What the Vote. Great to have all three of you here on the show.
Great to be here.
Yeah, super exciting. So help those who may not be familiar explain what is What the Vote.
What the Vote is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, nonpartisan. We are not involved in politics at all, and we strive to bring information and education to young voters to try to get them inspired and engaged so they get voices, their voice has a future.
Yes, very, very important because they are the future, right?
They are.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's why we feel, as two grandmas that started this organization, that it's important to pay it forward, to let the young people who are going to have the future longer than we are be able to help design that. And we're not, as Chris said, telling anyone who to vote for or what to vote for. We're telling them that they have the power to decide their future and to learn more about what the issues are and how it impacts them.
Yeah, I love that. I'm so glad you said you have the power, right? This is about empowerment, understanding that they need to be paving the way to their future because it's their future, right?
Right,
Yes.
right.
And we've kind of already talked about, I mean, I think it speaks for itself why it's important that people vote, but let's kind of expand on that. Why is it so important, though, that youth embrace the power of voting?
Well, I think it's the best way for Noah and all in his generation to gain respect, because elected officials will really pay attention if they know that they have become educated on what the elected officials stand for, what they plan to do, and that they vote. And civics nowadays has kind of fallen to the wayside, and I think it's important for the youth to understand that people Chris and my age are the ones going out there voting. And we're making a lot of decisions that they're going to have to live with.
Yes, yes, that's a great point, that they're going to have to live with, and that are probably impacting them currently in their current situation too, especially when it comes to making decisions about education boards and the development of our communities that they're going to inherit, right, and raise their families in one day. So very, very important. And Noah, you are a student with the organization, so explain to us your experience, why you decided to get involved, and why you find it important.
Yes. Yeah, so for our senior project, my group and I chose to work with What the Vote Idaho, which is a nonpartisan organization that's striving to engage the younger generations in the democratic process. And we all thought it was very important to be part of that and want to strive to be part of that group. And we actually got 1/3 of our senior class to register to vote.
Wow.
Which was awesome. And for me as well, it was really important to be able to work with them because it was going to be my first time voting. I just turned 18 in December, and so this local election was the first time I got to vote. And their website was very helpful in being able to see the ballot and see what it was going to look like, so I was more comfortable, because I think a lot of people my age are nervous about what it's going to be like, and having their website be able to show you, what your ballot's going to look like in examples is something that's really empowering and really wants you to make your voice heard.
And in someone who's in that demographic, why do you think that we find that our youth are so apprehensive about getting involved in politics or voting?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is there's an idea of that if someone's different, it's scary to talk to them. I think that that's been kind of something that's been brought up, and I think that working with them, it's shown me that just because someone doesn't believe the same things as me, it's okay. We can still be friends. We can still, get along. Politics isn't everything, and I think that's a really important thing that I've learned from them.
Yes, yeah, and it's also important though too that you are able to weigh in on some topics, right, that are going to be impacting you personally and in for the future, and that is something that that you can exercise. What about making sure that you're educated in what you're voting on, right? I mean, because sometimes, let's face it, I can reflect, I mean, though it's a long time ago, reflect on my first opportunity to vote, and thinking about politics. It's not super exciting, ladies, right?
Right.
Yes,
right.
it seems like a dry topic. It seems overwhelming. There's things that they're like, well, I don't know. Does that really impact me right now? And I just want to graduate and go to college. Like, I don't want to be weighed down with this, right? but the stuff is very, very important. So how do you approach something like that with your peer group?
So for me, it was really important to show them kind of why it's important to get out there and why it's important. We have a lot of different ideals and morals that we beliefs in different things. So it was really important for us to want to get out there and really make a difference and change in our community. And it starts with people that are young. And once we get out there, we can make a big difference.
Yes, you can, and you are, and that's super exciting.
Exactly.
You know, one of the things that is very different from our organization, because there are a lot of organizations that are trying to get young people to vote and people in general to vote, but we go into the classrooms. We do presentations in all of the West Ada and Boise School District government classes. So that's where we first came in contact with NOAA, was through one of our volunteers, because we have around 80 volunteers that do this work.
Wow.
Yeah, and go into the classrooms and on college campuses to be able to spread the word about this. And we talk to them about things that particularly impact them. One of the things with a lot of the young people that live in Idaho is they love the outdoors. And we talk to them about, you know, the elected officials you choose decide how much of this is public land and how much is private land. So, you know, there's a lot of ways in which to try and help them understand that so much of this is local. Oftentimes it's thought of as being, oh, voting for the president. How does that work? Well, it's about voting for people in your city, as you said, people on your school board, and ways in which they can really make an impact, because in this valley, we've had many elected officials that have only won by a few votes, you know, 5 or 10 votes.
Yeah.
So
That's one of the reasons that people say, oh, I don't want to get involved because my vote doesn't matter. And that's not exactly true, especially in the local elections. It can be won or lost by just a few.
Yes.
Chris, tell them a little bit about the new tool, that educational tool we're working with Boise State
We
on.
partner with different educational systems, CWI, Boise State, and we have a tool that we call All in Favor, and it's in a tweaking session right now. And it's an interactive tool meant to promote civil discourse and logical decision making. And it's going to be, when we have it finalized, it will be distributed through Idaho Public Television to the people that use their education department. And we'll also be making it available to all teachers.
Oh, great.
And,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
and-
super
and
exciting.
We're trying all kinds of ways to message, to promote civil discourse and critical thinking, logical thinking. We're going to be enhancing our resources so that we'll have additional ways that students, our young voters, can go in and actually research candidates in different ways.
And become educated and
Right,
informed
right.
in a way that's not intimidating to them.
Right.
This is super exciting. Where can our viewers go to learn more?
Whatthevote.org. Whatthevote.idaho.org is the website. And we'd love to have you check out the website, and there's a way to communicate with us in that website. What would you suggest?
Yeah, I would suggest definitely reaching out through that. Definitely reaching out through the website is the best thing, because it makes you feel comfortable and learn more about things before you get into it.
Noah poured all the way through it, and he knew everything in that website. It was wonderful.
That's
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah.
All of you, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Everyone, make sure you check it out, whatthevote.idaho.org. Stick around. We have Daily Blast Live coming up right after the break.